What is going on, everybody? Tyler Brandt back here with another video. And before we get started today, I just want to apologize for not posting last Friday. My personal life really got a little hectic last week, so I wasn't able to get a video ready and uploaded, at least not a good enough one for you to see. But that's last week. This is this week. I'm going to try to make it up to you. 2 videos coming this week. We're going to try to get one earlier in the week, and we're going to try to get one later in the week. So, the first video this week, we are talking Mock Draft 2.0. And now we are finally after Combine time, and it was a great Combine. We learned a lot about a lot of guys, especially the guys that we didn't see coming. So, we're going to get into it. We're going to break it down. What the Patriots should do now that the Combine has run its course. The outlook for the Patriots season is a little different than it was the first time I did this. And this time, there's also going to be trades involved, specifically one trade, a big trade at the top of the draft. It's a little outside the box, but if you stick with me, it's, I think, very helpful in the long run for what New England needs to do. So without any further ado, let's just jump into it. Mock Draft 2.0, let's get it. So, as we all know, New England has the 23rd pick in the NFL draft. That's their first pick of the evening. And a lot of people, have a lot of different opinions where they should go. I originally thought Grant Delpit in that position. Xavier McKinney was a good choice. Seen a ton of AJ Epinenza in that spot. But I think ultimately what I would like New England to do is trade out of that first-round pick. I know it's crazy, but hear me out. So the Chicago Bears don't have a first-round pick. Again, part of the Khalil Mack trade. And I think that they're a team that can really use an offensive piece in the first round. I don't know where or how they get in. They're going to need to find a partner to tangle with, and I think the perfect partner for them to tangle with would be the New England Patriots. So Chicago has 2 second-round picks. I believe it's 43 and 50. So in this trade, I have them moving up from that 50th spot to 23 to take New England's first-round pick. So again, obviously, they swap picks, and the player that would be coming over to New England is Leonard Floyd, the linebacker that was drafted by the Bears a few years ago. So the Patriots get Leonard Floyd, that second-round pick. They move out of the first round. I think, the Bears need to clear some cap space. They have about 16, 17 million in cap space. And Leonard Floyd is owed about $13 million. So you move him off. You get his money off the books. There's no dead money. It's a very, very clear, straight trade. New England gets better. They get a linebacker who they're probably going to need because they're not going to be able to sign Van Noy and Jamie Collins back. So you get a linebacker that you need, a good linebacker who has really peaked. I don't want to say peaked, but, he's shown some very, very good promise, and he's had a few bad plays, but he's still a young player that Belichick can mold, and that defense can be molded into something very good. So I think you get a good young player. You move back. This draft is very, very deep at the wide receiver, at the offensive line, and even at the tight end position. So I think those are 3 problems New England needs to address. And I think they can still do that and get another piece on the defense. Again, New England trades with the Bears, that first-round pick, 23 overall, to Chicago for the second-round pick, number 50 overall, and Leonard Floyd. Okay, so post-Bears trade for the New England Patriots, again, they're picking 50th in the draft after acquiring Leonard Floyd in that pick for their first-round pick. And in this spot, I think they're going to take Tyler Biadasz, the interior offensive lineman from Wisconsin. He's a 3-year starter at Wisconsin, and he's a very good, smart player, a whiteboard player who knows his X's and O's. He's an excellent run blocker. He was one of the lead guards for Jonathan Taylor in that absolutely awesome Wisconsin rushing attack. So, again, he is excellent at one asset of run blocking as an offensive lineman. Now, as a pass blocker, he leaves a little bit to be desired. While he is a decent pass blocker, he kind of lacks power. He lacks ability getting blocked in the second level, and that could kind of stunt his growth a little bit. But he's thrown in a New England spot where I think he doesn't have to thrive right away. He'll be taught by a good group of coaches up there, and I think he fills the need with Joe Thuney probably leaving in free agency. So Tyler Biadasz from Wisconsin coming to New England with the 50th overall pick, the second-round pick for the Patriots. Okay, here we go in the third round for the New England Patriots in the NFL Draft. Pick number 87, I think New England takes Adam Tautman, the tight end from Dayton, with this pick. Now, first, I'm going to read his line to you. It's 70 catches for 916 yards and 14 touchdowns. So just on that stat line alone, I'm absolutely taking a flyer on him. 6'5", 255 pounds. He is a very good pass-catching tight end, obviously, from that stat line. He's a big boy. He knows how to use his body to get around the ball and to leverage his way into making catches. He can be an every down pass catcher as a tight end. He, again, is very good at, getting separation and making catches in contact. However, his route tree is very limited as a pass catching tight end, and he does need to develop as a blocker. Those are the two biggest kind of red flags on him, if you want to call him that. Do I think he comes in right away and starts every 3 downs for New England? I don't necessarily think so. That's why they may address this issue again later in the draft. Who knows? But I think Taubman, they take him here. Good offensive piece. You're trying to lure Brady in, and you want to make this, offense as popping as he can get it to be with his strengths. And I think you need big tight ends, big body tight ends who can make a difference in the passing game. And Taubman does exactly that. 14 touchdowns. That's just great. I don't know how you slice that up. Okay, so here we go. Still in the 3rd round, the New England Patriots, their 2nd pick here in the 3rd round, the 97th overall pick. I think they take Chase Claypool, the wide receiver from Notre Dame. Now, I don't necessarily think he's going to be here. I don't think it's a guarantee, I should say, that he's going to be here. With the way wide receivers are flying off the board in this draft, and they're expected to, there's a very good chance he's a 2nd-round pick. It wouldn't surprise me, especially with the combine he had. He's got elite size. He is a big boy at the wide receiver position. He had a 1,000-yard season in his senior year with Notre Dame. And, he does a lot of things right. He high-pointed the ball. He uses his size very good down the field. His biggest knock is his release. He doesn't have the best release for a wide receiver, and sometimes he has slow hands getting up to the ball. But I think he's an absolute sleeper in this draft. If he's here in the 3rd round, I think New England may even take him with that first pick they have in the 3rd round. That wouldn't surprise me either. I could see him being a 2nd round to a 3rd round at any point. And I think if he's here for New England, he is a can't-miss prospect in the 3rd round. Now, with this pick in the 3rd round, we're not totally straying from my first mock draft. With the 99th overall pick, their 3rd pick in the 3rd round, New England takes Anthony Jennings, the edge from Alabama. We already talked about him. He has elite power. He's a very good power rusher. He kind of gets in trouble in space. He's not the greatest athlete. He doesn't have the best hips. Again, we've talked about him before. Go check the previous video if you want a little bit more of an in-depth look at him. But his player comp is Kyle Van Noy, who I think is the linebacker most likely to leave New England. So I think here Anthony Jennings makes a lot of sense to replace the edge rusher you lose in Kyle Van Noy. All right, next up, 4th round, pick number 122, and here was the spoiler alert from earlier. I think New England goes back to the tight end side of things here. Harrison Bryant, the FAU tight end, he is awesome. His strength of schedule is what really knocks him down and not playing in a great conference, but he's a 1,000-yard receiver. He is an excellent pass catcher. He's fantastic statistically. Even if the competition is not as great, he's excellent at getting separation. He's a good route runner. He can get you 3rd-level separation from safeties and defensive backs, and he's a good blocker. He can play all 3 downs. I think he needs to develop a little bit in his mind and kind of get his football mind together. But, he has all the tools to be an elite tight end, Harrison Bryant from Florida Atlantic University. Next up, the first 6th round pick that the New England Patriots have in this draft, and I think they're going back to Notre Dame. Very repetitive in this mock draft 2.0 in terms of schools and players. And this time they're going with Aloy Gilman, the safety from Notre Dame. Gilman is an absolute bull as a safety, and I think he could destroy runners, and he has a few forced fumbles in his last year at Notre Dame. He plays downhill. He is absolutely aggressive to the ball and the ball carrier, but his biggest problem is in space. Not great pursuit, takes bad angles, and when he's alone, he's a lot of the times, especially against elite talent, going to get cooked. I don't know if he slots in right away, but if you're signing McCourty back and Chung comes back, he has a few years to develop and kind of round out his game. And when those guys move on, Aloy Gilman is ideally the next guy to step up with his ability to absolutely change the game with the way that he can hit. So Aloy Gilman, the first player that the Patriots have actually had a top 30 visit from in this draft season, he goes to New England here in the 6th round. All right, so the next pick here in the 6th round, and they're going to go with Benito Jones. The New England Patriots take the defensive lineman from Ole Miss here in the 6th round. And boy, Benito Jones is a big boy, 6'2", 321 pounds. I think they need to address that defensive line. I know you have Lawrence Guy and Adam Butler there for a couple more years, but Danny Shelton's not going to be there, probably, you would assume. And I think they can use a few more able bodies on that 3-4 defensive line. So you get him in. I don't know if he's necessarily able to make a big impact. He has very good athleticism for someone his size, but being 6'2", 321, there's also a natural leverage problem. So I think that's kind of his biggest problem coming into the next level. But if you can use him at kind of an advantage and you can get him in the right formations, I mean, 6'2", 321, that's a body that's able to eat up a running game almost by themselves. So I think, you know, Benito Jones has a high ceiling. I think, you know, with the right coaching, he can be a good player. Take a flyer on a big boy in the 6th round for New England. Another 6th round pick here for New England. This one, I believe, is pick number 219. And again, we're going back to mock draft 1.0. Shane Lemieux, the offensive lineman from Oregon. 4-year starter, locker room leader. Like most Oregon players, very quick feet. You know, sometimes his feet get under him and he gets a little tangled. He has a very wide set feet for an offensive lineman. If you want more details, again, he's in mock draft 1.0. But a lot of good things. Take a flyer on him here in the 6th round. A locker room leader, 4-year starter. I'll take Shane Lemieux for the New England Patriots. Okay, so for their last pick in the 6th round, the New England Patriots take Aaron Fuller, the wide receiver from Washington. And I don't necessarily know if he's going to pan out, but I think New England needs bodies. He is a fast wide receiver. He made an excellent catch last year against Eastern Washington, I believe. He's a 4-year starter for Washington. Good character guy. I mean, bad route runner. Flat out bad route runner. He doesn't really get the best separation. That's why I don't know what his NFL future holds for him. But I think, you know, if you can kind of catch that spectacular catchability, maybe you can do something with it. Maybe he's worth a flyer here in the 6th round. Aaron Fuller, the wide receiver from Washington. All right, so New England has 2 picks in the 7th round. The first one here is going to go to Nate Stanley, the Iowa quarterback. Now, it's not easy playing quarterback in the Big Ten. I'm a Michigan fan. Watching Shea Patterson do it is actually painful. He was, some people mocked going to New England. I want nothing to do with him. And I don't know if Nate Stanley's going to pan out either. He never completed 60% of his passes in all his years at Iowa. He does throw a good deep ball, and he protects the ball from, you know, linemen diving all over him, especially up in the Big Ten. But I don't know. I mean, again, not a high completion percentage. Misses easy reads. I don't know what his future holds. Take a flyer on a quarterback. You know, maybe you hit a 199 stroke of luck almost like you did with Brady. Probably not, but again, you get a guy in there, maybe he does something special. And Nate Stanley, Big Ten quarterback, thrown against good defenses, maybe translates into the NFL at some point or somehow. So New England's last pick in the draft, pick number 236 in the 7th round. I think New England takes Aaron Parker, the wide receiver from Rhode Island. Now, 81 catches, north of 1,000 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Even in Division I AA, that's fine. I'm taking a flyer on him for that stat line alone. I know it's probably a long shot that he makes anything of it, but you never know. And I think when you look in those D2 levels, you look for scrappy players that work hard. And I think, you know, again, 4-year starter at Rhode Island, maybe he does something special. 81 catches, again, north of 1,000 yards. That's a good season in college. So take a flyer on him. Maybe he pans out, maybe not. But in the 7th round at this point, especially with your last pick, you're pretty much Hail Marying, looking for special teamers, and maybe Aaron Parker can be just that. So that's it for Mock Draft 2.0. It's in the books. Again, I'm going to leave it on the next screen for you, everyone that I think New England should pick, including that trade in the 1st round. Wanted to go a little bit outside the box here, especially now that the combine is over. You could kind of see everything falling into place. Who's a real stud and who's a late round flyer that's worth taking a chance on. And I think New England has a good opportunity to make some good picks here. Again, we'll talk about it before the draft and before the season. This is a real important year for the future of New England. And let's see what happens in this draft. Belichick, he needs to fill some holes. You know, the offensive line is an issue that needs to be addressed. Wide receiver is obviously an issue that needs to be addressed. Tight end is an issue that needs to be addressed. So I think that you can do that in this draft. There's guys very deep at all 3 spots in this draft. And let's see what Bill Belichick does. Let's see what the future holds for Brady. At the time you're seeing this, it's officially free agency month, and it's franchise tag deadline week, and we're going to find out very soon what Brady's future is and where he's going to play football. But again, we'll find that out soon. And that'll pretty much do it for this video. I haven't said it yet, but if you wouldn't mind, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and it's at the Tyler Brandt. Again, Facebook, Tyler Brandt, follow me. And one of 2 videos this week, and I'll catch you on the next one.